Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to discuss today some coping skills to deal with the anger that is associated with premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Because if you are a sufferer of PMDD, you know how intense that anger can be. Now, unfortunately, there is not a magical answer for this. If there were, we would all be much happier. But through my journey with PMDD, I have learned of a few coping skills with the anger that has helped me to not explode on my loved ones around me. So I'm just going to go from my favorite coping mechanism and work my way through. Number one for me is screaming, but not at anybody. So we all know of the classic cliche, scream in your pillow. I took that and kind of personalized it a bit more. What I do is I go and I run the bath water, and I literally go in the bathtub, stick my head underwater, and scream. That might not be the most convenient coping strategy for anger, but if you're stuck in a home environment and you need to let it out, that's a very good way to do it because nobody can hear you. Another thing would be listening to music. I put my earphones in and just let that blast. Just keep a pair of headphones in your bag or wallet on your pocket. They come in handy. Coping skill might not be for everybody either, but I personally write a lot, so what I'll do is open up the memo pad on my phone and just let it out. I don't filter myself when I write on those apps because I need to let it out. It's not something I would put in a Tumblr post because whether the extent of my anger is valid or not, I still am feeling it and I need to let it out somehow. Typing it out in an unfiltered way really does help. If you are able, depending on your physical ability, exercise does help. And I feel weird saying that because I've been told my entire life, oh, if you just worked out. And you know what? It isn't the one answer that will solve everything, but it is an option. Going for a walk with earphones in or just listening to nature, it does help. It is grounding. Another thing that I usually do is I actually have a specific journal for PMDD symptoms, and I'll go back and I'll read my old entries, and it's just kind of comforting. Even though I know it's only my own perspective, it's almost comforting just because it's like, okay, I felt this before and I got through it. Last coping skill for when you're dealing with the anger would be online forums or watching YouTube videos that discuss PMDD. Watching somebody else's personal stories and struggles with PMDD helps because I'm not the only one out there going through these thoughts and feelings. Usually in the groups, I will gather reassurance from other people who suffer with PMDD, and it's definitely comforting. On a more serious note, I know that the anger can be quite brutal, and sometimes it feels like the only way to let it out is to hurt yourself. And when you're in that heightened emotional state, it's hard to think of anything else to do other than either internalize it and sit there or hurt yourself. So what I suggest doing is during one of your good weeks or good days, make what they call an emergency toolbox, and inside just put things like, in mine I have headphones, put pictures of my cat, pictures of me going to New York City, things that make me feel like I am worth trying. It's not shameful to have to reach out to suicide hotlines or text lines. I'll put the text line in the description along with a link that has the suicide hotlines for most countries. I know how lonely this can get. The disorder is lying to us. If you look at the online groups, there are plenty of other people who feel this. So push through the anger because better days are coming, and you know that because you've been here before.